Evening and welcome to the championship match of the 1998 Cox Communications Academic Challenge in partnership with the Escambia County School District and WSRE-TV. I'm Bill Willis, the moderator for tonight's match. Our judges this evening are Ramona Wright, teacher on special assignment for elementary mathematics for the Escambia County School District, Dr. Wes Davis, the Director of Evaluation Services for the Escambia County School District. Our scorekeeper is Cindy Nixon, the Education Coordinator for Cox Communication, and our timekeeper is Linda Thompson, the Language Arts Specialist for the Escambia County School District. Congratulations to our two teams who have advanced to this championship match, Washington High and Woodham High. And now we'll have the players from Washington High introduce themselves.
My name is Eric Scott.
Jonathan Thompson.
Ethan.
Kyle Evans.
And the coach for Washington High is Carolyn McClendon. And now we'll have the players from Woodham High introduce themselves.
Reese Zimba.
Tyler Dorset.
Johnny Hutchinson.
Jeff Rogers.
And the coach for Woodham High is Kathy Bain. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back after these matches to get tonight's match underway.
Okay, ready for our field trip?
If it's cable in the classroom, it's gonna be awesome. It's like 37 different cable networks with all these cool shows to use in class. There are no commercials, and it makes learning a total adventure.
Cable in the Classroom is a free service of the cable television industry, and now there's a way for you to help your neighborhood school. Volunteer to record selected programs for teachers to use in class.
Okay, now what do we learn here today?
Cable in the Classroom comes home with Cox Communications.
Some people just watch TV, and others learn something new every time they tune in. Join me every month on Education Showcase for a preview of the best educational programs on cable. From family viewing to cable in the classroom to feature stories for parents, teachers, and students, you'll find out how to make learning fun and relevant to today's world. So don't just turn on the television, turn on to learning with Education Showcase, a monthly guide to cable's best educational programs.
This is Good News Pensacola, the people, resources, and partnerships that contribute to education in our community. Sponsored by Cox Communications. Good News Pensacola Education, LNE Channel 24, Sundays at 8 p.m., Mondays and Wednesdays at 7 p.m.
Welcome back, viewers. Well, teams, we're looking forward to an exciting match. Good luck. Here's our first toss-up. The defenestration of Prague precipitated what war? Woodham, Johnny.
The 30 Years' War.
That is correct, and if you'll direct your team's attention to the monitor, we have an art visual for you to see and then answer some questions. And here is your question. What is the name of the work of art which you see?
The Isenheim altarpiece.
Correct. And number two, name the German artist who created it.
Grunwald.
That is also correct for 20 points. Toss-up question. Name the Mexican revolutionary general who crossed the U.S. Woodham, Tyler.
Villa.
That is correct. And here is your team's bonus. Number one, the name of this bone means wall. Name these bones which form most of the roof and much of the walls of the skull. This is the bonus for Woodham.
Cranium.
Incorrect. Parietal. Number two, what hormone produced by the thyroid gland inhibits osteoclast activity, causing bone formation and a decrease in the blood level of calcium? The answer is calcitonin. You picked up no points on this bonus set. Toss-up. In what classic fantasy for children would you find the characters Mr. Toad, Woodham, Tyler?
The Wind in the Willows.
That is correct, and here's your team's bonus. Number one, which Shakespearean character says, "O happy dagger, this is thy sheath. There rust and let me die"?
Juliet.
Correct. Number 2, what is the name of the Duke of Athens in Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream?
Lysander.
Incorrect. It's Theseus. You picked up 1 for 10 points. Toss-up question. What 19th century American poet wrote both The Yellow Violet and Thanatopsis? Woodham, Johnny.
William Cullen Bryant.
That is correct. And here is your team's bonus. Number 1, The Trial and The Castle are the best-known novels of what author?
Kafka.
Correct. Number 2, Robert E. Lee collaborated with what other man to write the play Inherit the Wind? Jerome Lawrence. You've answered 1 for 10 points. Toss-up question. Name the early 19th century Shawnee chief who managed to organize a great Indian confederacy. Washington, Eric.
Tecumseh.
That is correct, and here is your team's bonus. Number 1, name the incumbent president of the United States who placed a disgraceful third with only 8 electoral votes in his bid for re-election in 1912.
Taft.
Correct. Number 2, during whose presidency did the United States purchase the Virgin Islands?
McKinley.
Incorrect. Woodrow Wilson. You've answered 1 correctly for 10 points. Toss-up question. Who won the 1918 Nobel Prize in Physics for his discoveries in quantum theory? Washington, Ethan.
Einstein.
Again, please.
Einstein.
Incorrect. Woodham, Reese.
Planck.
That is correct.
Very good.
Here's your team's bonus. Number 1. In Greek mythology, the brother of which Olympian goddess kidnapped her daughter?
Artemis.
Incorrect. Demeter. Number 2, what fruit is most associated with Persephone in Greek mythology?
Pomegranate.
That is correct for 10 points. Toss-up question. Presently, President Clinton is making a multi-nation tour of what continent? Woodham, Reese.
Africa.
That is correct. Here's your team's bonus. Number 1, what name is given to the rebellion in northern England during the 1530s, which was precipitated by the dissolution of the monasteries by Henry VIII?
Pilgrimage of Grace.
Correct. Number 2, name the wife to which Henry VIII was married for the briefest period of time.
Anne of Cleves.
That is also correct for 20 points. Toss-up question. What one word can mean both a wooden stick or club or any winged mouse-like mammal of Woodham, Reese?
Bat.
Correct. Here's your team's bonus. Number 1, what is the capital of the African nation of Mauritania?
Nouakchott.
Correct. Number 2, what is the most northerly nation of the African continent?
Tunisia.
That is also correct for 20 points. Toss-up question. During whose presidency was the NAACP? Woodham, Johnny.
Taft.
That is correct. Here is your team's bonus. Number 1, the landmark case of Plessy versus Ferguson, 1896, originated in what state?
Louisiana.
Correct. Number 2, the landmark case of Roe versus Wade, 1973, originated in what state?
Texas.
That is correct for 20 points. Toss-up question. How many of the Julio-Claudian emperors of the Roman Empire were succeeded by a biological son? Washington, Eric.
3.
Incorrect. Woodham, Johnny.
None.
That is correct, and here is your team's bonus. Number 1, what 1971 cult film has Bud Corst as a repressed youth fixated on death and funerals who has an affair with an octogenarian woman?
Harold and Maude.
Number 2, a young boy inadvertently left behind at Christmas when his parents go on holiday foils some inept housebreakers. Name the 1990 movie.
Home Alone.
That is correct for 20 points. Toss-up question. Which planet's rotation is retrograde? Woodham, Johnny.
Venus.
That is correct. Here is your team's bonus. Number 1, it is Italian for retarding. Name this musical term, often abbreviated R-I-T.
Retardando.
That is correct. Number 2, what does the musical direction ravvivando tell the performer to do?
Speed up.
That's incorrect. It's play faster and faster. You have answered one correctly for 10 points. Toss-up question. What building of antiquity did Filippo Brunelleschi, Woodham, Johnny?
The Pantheon.
That is correct. Here is your team's bonus. Number 1, which Renaissance sculptor created the equestrian monument of Caglione?
Donatello.
Incorrect. Andrea del Verrocchio. Which Renaissance sculptor created the equestrian monument of Gattamelata?
Donatello.
That is correct for 10 points. Toss-up question. She was married to Francis II of France and was a widow at 18. In 1565, she married her cousin, Lord Darnley. 2 years later, she was again a widow when Darnley was mysteriously killed in an explosion. 3 months later, she married the man most people regarded as the murderer of her second husband. Name this woman whom Elizabeth I of England had beheaded. Woodham, Tyler.
Mary Tudor.
Incorrect. Washington, Jonathan.
Richard III.
Incorrect. Mary Stuart, better known as Mary, Queen of Scots. Toss-up question. What chemical element has the same symbol as the postal abbreviation for the state of Missouri? Woodham, Johnny. Washington, Jonathan.
Magnesium.
Incorrect. Molybdenum. Toss-up question. What is the capital of the Eastern European country of Romania? Woodham, Johnny.
Bucharest.
Correct. And here is your team's bonus. Number 1, name the author who recently added a coda to his book, Diana, Her True Story, with the new subtitle, In Her Own Words.
Morton.
Correct. Number 2, name not only the rock star who performed at Diana's funeral, but also the song he reworked in her honor.
Elton John, Candle in the Wind.
That is correct for 20 points. Toss-up question. And we're at the half. We'll be right back after these messages with the official score.
Some people just watch TV, and others learn something new every time they tune in. Join me every month on Education Showcase for a preview of the best educational programs on cable. From family viewing to cable in the classroom to feature stories for parents, teachers, and students, you'll find out how to make learning fun and relevant to today's world. So don't just turn on the television, turn on to learning with Education Showcase, a monthly guide to cable's best educational programs.
This is Good News Pensacola, the people, resources, and partnerships that contribute to education in our community. Sponsored by Cox Communications. Good News Pensacola Education, LNE Channel 24, Sundays at 8 p.m., Mondays and Wednesdays at 7 p.m.
Okay, ready for our field trip?
If it's cable in the classroom, it's gonna be awesome. It's like 37 different cable networks with all these cool shows to use in class. There are no commercials, and it makes learning a total adventure.
Cable in the Classroom is a free service of the cable television industry. And now there's a way for you to help your neighborhood school. Volunteer to record selected programs for teachers to use in class.
Okay, now what do we learn here today?
Cable in the Classroom comes home with Cox Communications.
Welcome back, viewers. The score is official. Woodham 290, Washington 20. Good luck, teams. Here's our first question of the second half. What disease is thought to be caused by degeneration of neurons in the brain that's Woodham, Johnny?
Meningitis.
I'll repeat. What disease is thought... Washington, Ethan?
Alzheimer's.
Incorrect. We were looking for Parkinson's disease. Toss-up question. Which Shakespearean character says, "Would that my horse had the..." Woodham, Tyler?
Benedict.
That is correct. And here is your team's bonus. Number 1. Boo Radley is a character in what famous 20th century novel?
To Kill a Mockingbird.
Correct. Number 2. Name the author of To Kill a Mockingbird.
Harper Lee.
That is also correct for 20 points. Toss-up question. At what Tennessee fort in 1860? Woodham, Reese?
Fort Pillow.
That is correct. And here is your team's bonus. Number 1, what is the term for the first leaves of the embryonic plant which arise from the plumule? The answer is cotyledon. Number 2, name the class of plant hormone that promotes stem elongation and flowering.
Ethylene.
Incorrect. Gibberellin. You picked up no points on this set. Toss-up question. What cell organelle is nicknamed the cell's... Woodham, Reese?
Mitochondria.
That is correct. And here is your team's bonus. Number 1. How many liters of oxygen will be needed to burn 100 liters of carbon monoxide?
50.
The bell had sounded. That was correct, but after the bell. Number 2, which of the following geologic plates is the smallest? Eurasian, North American, Nazca, Scotia, or Antarctic?
Scotia.
That is correct for 10 points. Toss-up question. In a flower, what is the term for the pollen-bearing part of the stamen? Woodham, Tyler?
Anther.
Correct. Here is your team's bonus. Klangfarben melody is a term invented by what composer to describe the device of creating a melody from different tone colors instead of different pitches? The answer is Arnold Schoenberg. Number 2, what is the Italian musical direction to perform in a sad, mournful manner?
Come calor.
Incorrect. Lacrimoso. No points on this set. Toss-up question. In the Broadway musical Annie, what is the name of the dog? Woodham, Tyler?
Sandy.
That is correct. Here is your team's bonus. Number 1, what is the capital of the African country of Ghana?
Accra.
Correct. Number 2, what is the capital of the African country of Gabon?
Libreville.
That is correct for 20 points. Toss-up question. What is the popular two-word name for the machine which was invented in 1790? Johnny Woodham?
Cotton gin.
That is correct. And here is your team's bonus. What old television sitcom had Eddie Albert as Oliver Wendell Douglas move his glamorous wife, played by Ava Gabor, to Hooterville?
Green Acres.
Correct. Number 2, what old television sitcom featured a talking horse?
Mr. Ed.
That is also correct for 20 points. Toss-up question. The MTV Video Music Award in 1995 went to what group as Best New Artist in a Video, a group which recorded Hold My... Johnny Woodham?
Hootie and the Blowfish.
That is correct. And here is your team's bonus. Number 1, what movie received 14 Oscar nominations this year?
Titanic.
Correct. How many total Oscars did Titanic win this year?
11.
Correct for 20 points. Toss-up question. Which American poet wrote, I taste a liquor never brewed? Woodham, Reese?
Emily Dickinson.
Correct. Here is your team's bonus. Number 1, in Italian, it literally means forcing. In music, it is an indication for a sharp, strong accent on a note or chord and is abbreviated SF or SFZ. What is this term?
Sforzando.
Correct. Number 2, semibrev is the British term for what in music?
An eighth note.
Incorrect, a whole note. You've answered 1 for 10 points. Toss-up question. During whose presidency was the .4 Washington, Eric?
Harding.
Incorrect. Woodham, Johnny?
Truman.
Correct. And here is your team's bonus. Number 1, its publicity tag was, "It's all about a wacky prof who invents an anti-gravity goo that flew." Name this 1961 Walt Disney movie starring Fred MacMurray.
The Absent-Minded Professor.
Correct. Number 2, an aging Broadway star named Margot Channing suffers from the hidden menace of a self-effacing but secretly ruthless and ambitious young actress. Name this movie starring Bette Davis and Ann Baxter.
Sunset Boulevard.
Incorrect. All About Eve. You've answered 1 for 10 points. Toss-up question. Hydrodynamica, published in 1738, was this scientist's most famous work. It discussed equilibrium, pressure, and velocity of fluids. Woodham, Johnny.
Bernoulli.
That is correct. And here is your team's bonus. Number 1, the title of which Shakespearean play has a city in it? A city which was the setting for his Romeo and Juliet.
Three Gentlemen of Verona.
Incorrect. Two Gentlemen of Verona. Number 2, the title of which Shakespearean play has a city in it? A city which was the setting for the opening scenes of Othello.
Merchant of Venice.
That is correct for 10 points. Toss-up question. This is a math question. Solve for y. 4y plus 4 equals 19 minus y. Woodham, Johnny.
3.
That is correct, and here is your team's bonus. Number 1, in the Buddhist hell, what type of animal inflicts punishment?
Bull.
Incorrect. Dogs. Number 2, what Hindu god of death has 2 dogs that are sent out to bring back wandering souls?
Shiva.
Incorrect. Yama. No points. Toss-up question. What is the name of the cloud of millions or billions of comets? Washington, Jonathan.
The Oort cloud.
That is correct, and here is your team's bonus. Number 1, the following prayer was central to what famous 1962 Supreme Court decision? Almighty God, we acknowledge our dependence on Thee, and we beg Thy blessings upon us, our parents, our teachers, and our country. Engel versus Vitale. Number 2, in the majority opinion of what case was it written that even the most stringent protection of free speech would not protect a man in falsely shouting fire in a theater and causing a panic? The answer is Schenck versus United States. Toss-up question. Pharyngeal gill slits, dorsal nerve cord, post-anal tail, and are characteristics of which phylum? Woodham, Reese.
Chordata.
That is correct, and here is your team's bonus. Number 1, what chemical element has the same symbol as the postal abbreviation for the state of Georgia?
Gallium.
Correct. What chemical element has the same symbol as the postal abbreviation for the state of Louisiana?
Lanthium.
Incorrect. Lanthanum. You've answered 1 correctly for 10 points. Toss-up question. Name the character in the Merry Wives of Windsor who is described as lecherous, glutton. Woodham, Tyler.
Falstaff.
Correct. Here's your team's bonus. Number 1, what type of igneous rock generally makes up the oceanic crust?
Extrusive.
Incorrect. Basalt. Number 2, in chemistry, a bond formed by the direct overlap of two orbitals is called what type of bond?
Covalent.
Incorrect, sigma bond. Well, we've reached the end of the match. We'll be right back after these messages with the official score.
This is Good News Pensacola, the people, resources, and partnerships that contribute to education in our community. Sponsored by Cox Communications. Good News Pensacola Education, LNE Channel 24, Sundays at 8 p.m., Mondays and Wednesdays at 7 p.m.
Okay, ready for our field trip?
If it's cable in the classroom, it's gonna be awesome. It's like 37 different cable networks with all these cool shows to use in class. There are no commercials, and it makes learning a total adventure.
Cable in the Classroom is a free service of the cable television industry. And now there's a way for you to help your neighborhood school. Volunteer to record selected programs for teachers to use in class.
Okay, now what do we learn here today?
Cable in the Classroom comes home with Cox Communications.
Welcome back, viewers. The score is official. Woodham by 50, Washington 30. Congratulations to Washington High, our second place team for this year's tournament. And now, the education coordinator from Cox Communications, Cindy Nixon, to present the award to Jonathan Thompson, captain of the Washington High team.
Jonathan, congratulations. And thank you for participating in the 1998 Cox Communications Academic Challenge. Washington High School did an incredible job, and congratulations again to you and your team. Thank you.
Thank you. And now for our first place award from Woodham High School, the captain, Tyler Dorsett.
Congratulations, Tyler, and congratulations to Woodham High School for an incredible, challenging year this year, and for being the winners of our 1998 Academic Challenge, Cox Communications Academic Challenge. And I would like to thank all the coaches for all the 8 high schools that participated, and Bill Willis, our moderator this year, and Linda Thompson from the Escambia County School District for coordinating this event, and WSRE for their support in our 1998 Cox Communications Academic Challenge.
Thank you and good night.